Hey guys, welcome to the Lowdown Show. And in this video, I have a special guest actually returning, my good friend Starrapter on his channel, Starrapter. And he was on before. We were talking about the, the Rise of Skywalker and the whole Star Wars ending. But now we're going to talk about Clone Wars season 7 review. And yeah, it got us hyped. And we watched the whole thing. We both have reviews, and now we're just gonna come together and talk about it and just reminisce and and see what's going on. What we're thinking. After this season, this is over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me, Edwin. Yeah, the Lowdown Show once again. Yeah, it didn't seem like it's been much time that passed since the last time, but it probably
I
has. I don't
know.
even know when that was, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it was funny. Remember, because you did remind me the last time we were talking and interviewing. You're like, "Hey, Clone Wars comes out in a couple weeks." I'm like, "What?" And yeah, here we are
yeah,
again.
I
Yeah,
can't believe it's gone that quickly.
now it's gone.
12 weeks of Clone Wars. It's like
Yeah,
12 episodes. Boom, went away. Went so quickly.
yeah,
Arc just was like, oh yeah, there's another 4 weeks. There's another 4 weeks, and hey, we're done now completely. It's insane how fast it goes when it's like something you look forward to, and you just get into a routine that it's like every Friday I wake up early before
yes.
work. I watch the episode. I put my review before I go to work.
Oh yeah,
And now
oh
it's
yeah,
like tomorrow I actually wake up on Friday and I don't have to wake up super early in the morning. So that's
yeah.
kind of nice, but at the
Kind of
same
nice.
point, it's kind of disappointing that there's no Star Wars. Well,
Yeah.
technically
Oh
there is the Gallery Mandalorian,
yes, there we
but I'm
go.
not going to get up that early just to watch that. That's
Yeah.
not showing it, throwing any shade at that because I've watched the first episode and it was really good,
It was
really
good.
fascinating stuff. But yeah, it's nothing that I'll wake up at 5:30 in the morning just to watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, but I'm glad you did the Clone Wars, and yeah, you were definitely dedicated, and and yeah, yeah, I had fun with it, and it looks like you had fun with it too when I was listening to your reviews and stuff. But you know what? I do want to start off with let's just start off with the Clone Wars movie itself. Like, where were you at? Did you watch it in theaters, or what were your thoughts?
Oh,
The initial like, hey, what is this all about?
yeah, yeah.
You remember? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So with the Clone Wars, it was very interesting for me because this was at a point where I didn't care about the Clone Wars. The movie
Hmm.
came out. That was the first Star Wars movie, the only Star Wars movie I had never seen in theater.
Okay,
Because I
okay. Hmm.
I looked at the trailers and I guess that was what 2008 or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Remember
at
that?
that point, I was either just starting college or in my last year of high school. And I was in this phase where I don't want to call it growing out of Star Wars, but
Right.
I was in this really weird in between where there wasn't any like big games. There wasn't really anything coming out in Star Wars. That one moment in my life, it was like between Revenge of the Sith
Hmm.
and between what is it, the Old Republic MMO that
Oh
came out in
yeah, that's right.
2012.
Yes.
That there was like a 4 year, 3 year period where I was almost like completely out of fandom. Like it didn't occur to me really that I was interested in this Clone Wars movie because it was like, oh, this looks like it's for kids. Like
Yeah, yeah,
this doesn't even look like it's worth watching to me. It doesn't look at it's not live action. It's Star Wars taking a crack at a different medium, and I'm
yes,
kind of growing out of Star Wars. I'm going to
yeah,
be an adult. I'm going to college. I really don't give a crap.
yes.
So it wasn't really until like I don't even know when exactly, but several years later. And this will give you an idea of like where I was in life or what time it was because I was on this one source called Livewire, which
Mm.
used to be a place you would go to download MP3s like songs. It
Okay.
was all pirating stuff, but it was
Yes.
you go to Livewire and that was dial-up was back then,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
back then, because I remember trying to download the Clone Wars movie, and it took like hours. It was like because I was on a slow internet connection and I had
Okay.
to find like the right file. And well, I probably shouldn't even mention I did this because it's kind of illegal and I'm on the
Well,
internet. But
they had
uh,
Napster and all that. Remember Napster? Something like that. Something like that. Yeah. Well,
but anyway, that
Yeah.
was my first, and I remember like trying to watch the Clone Wars on that, and it was just like this terrible ordeal where like it was buffering
Oh, I
and I
see.
don't know, it was just not a great experience. I was watching it on my downstairs computer, so the clarity on the monitor was absolute crap, and then basically after that was my experience with the Clone Wars movie. It was just not in theaters. It was an afterthought, and it was several years after it actually came out. I don't know
Yes.
why I decided to try to watch it
Hmm.
later on, but I guess I was curious to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about the season itself? And then did you get hooked on after it came out on season by season?
No, you know what? That didn't happen either. And I think I watched like Ambush, the very first episode,
Yeah, but yes,
and
Ambush,
the rising Malevolence.
Malevolent. Yeah.
It was basically like I watched an episode here, an episode there of season one, but it didn't grip me. It just didn't really hook me.
Yes.
And it wasn't really until it got onto Netflix that I really
Okay.
got into it.
Yes.
So what I don't know what year that was. It had to well, let's see. I was in college. It was probably 2010 maybe. Was that when it
Yeah.
No. It had to have been
Uh,
2014,
okay. No, yeah.
2013,
Yeah. That sounds actually a little bit better. A little bit later.
which might have been around the same time that like they redid Lucasfilm. I don't know. It might have been before that. See, I'm getting all the dates messed up. But anyway, when it came to Netflix, they were making a big deal out of it. So I said, screw it. Let me watch this Clone Wars series. And then
Mhm.
the way that I was able to watch it was so much easier. I didn't have to
Yes.
like go on the internet and download episodes. It was all streaming on Netflix, and it was just like binge mode where I would
Yeah.
just like I was in college and I didn't have a whole lot to do outside of class, so I just like freaking went through that series
Watch
like
it all,
nothing.
right? Yeah.
And then it went right into the Lost missions. I watched all those new
Oh, nice.
episodes in
Okay.
like a day. I remember
Oh,
when that
yes.
came out, they like put all the episodes out in one day, and I just like went through the whole thing like nothing.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of have a similar story. Well, kind of. Well, I was in college already, but then I went to the military actually, like 2005, and I actually watched Revenge of the Sith. My very first Star Wars movie in theaters,
Huh.
because all the ones that came out, I was a little younger, and then
Yeah.
well, I watched it, with soldiers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, and I was really hyped up, and I came back from the training, and about it probably was about a year or two later, I just went to the store and I said, "Hey, what is this? Clone Wars." It was on a DVD. So I'm like, "Oh, a cartoon?" And I
Yeah.
still was interested in Star Wars. Like I was kind of like you. It's kind of faded out a little bit, but I was still a fan at heart. I'm like, I'll pick it up. And yeah, I watched it, and it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I watched. It wasn't like you where I had a buffer. Yeah, I just watched the whole thing, on a DVD. I'm like, oh, okay, something for cartoons, kids. And I was
Yeah.
like, what's the timeline here? Before I kind of knew, yeah, it was before Revenge of the Sith. I'm like, okay, they're taking a different medium, and I had Ahsoka, and I was like, how is this gonna work? And obviously she's gonna die later because
Yeah.
I didn't see him,
Yeah.
in Revenge of the Sith. But I was still interested, and yeah, I didn't really, poop on it that much. I was just like, oh, cool, all right. And then, that was just my little phase, and I try to collect all the videos I can. I had, once Revenge of the Sith came out on DVD, that was part of my collection, Clone Wars.
Uh-huh.
That was cool. And then, like you said, yeah, then they started coming out with this series, and I think I didn't have Netflix, but I had like, it was free on like FX or free on something. I kept downloading more video, it was free. So I'm like, well, I'll keep watching season after season. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. And then I started really growing into it like you did, and watched season 2 and 3 and 4. And then I kind of fell off a little bit because it was kind of dry spell. And then I went back to the store and I said, hey, that Clone Wars still going. I bought season 5. One with the Mandalorian thing on. I go, oh. I like that. Then I bought the mission one, the last one. I didn't know it was the last one, and that was like way later. It was all on DVD, so that's pretty much what I do. I just go to DVD the section, and I'm like, what's going on now? And then I got it, and I got hooked. And then now fast forward, and we're here, and we find out our celebration that Dave Filoni's like, oh, I'm gonna finish the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? And then he kind of showed like little bits of like Ahsoka, the army, and everybody got all crazy. Like, oh, there's an army, and he showed like a little footage of that. So that's when obviously we all got hyped. And yeah, we're here, and we both watched season 7.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because the experience I have watching this final season is something that I hadn't done with the Clone Wars before, right? Like when the Clone Wars came out, the seasons, I never watched them as they aired. I never had that experience where like I was like waiting every week, because I know plenty of people in the fandom that they are waiting every single week for the next episode. I never had that experience until now.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting that this season has felt the most kind of cohesive.
Yes.
Where they're all the story arcs have gone toward a certain end goal with the Siege of Mandalore, where prior seasons of Clone Wars, it would be like, oh, there's a story going in this galaxy, there's a story in this
I
galaxy, and they
know.
have nothing
Yeah,
to do
they
with
kind
each
of jump
other.
around. Yeah, yeah, yes,
This very much felt more like Star Wars Rebels, where it's more
yes,
linear
yes.
storytelling. It's just like,
I
okay,
agree.
here we go. We're gonna just keep going to the major plot point conflict.
Yeah, yeah, and I was surprised once they got to Revenge of the Sith, because a few
Mm,
years back I heard like Dave Filoni wanted to get it really close to Revenge of the Sith, so
yeah,
I thought the last episode was going to be them going about to save the Chancellor, but no, it opened up.
yeah,
What the fourth episode or whatever. Yeah, they're there already. I'm like, oh, we're in
yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. I'm like, okay,
Uh-huh.
and we're only at season episode 4 or 5. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it worked out. They did a good job. He did. Yeah.
It really pieces together well. And I mean, I have even gotten to the point where on Tuesday I had a lot of spare time because I had off of work, and I actually managed to find out the sequence, or at least
Yes.
my own sequence of how to watch the Siege of Mandalore concurrently with the Revenge of the Sith. So I would
Oh,
be on Disney
wow.
Plus. I would watch one episode, the first episode of the arc. Then I would play Revenge of the Sith from the beginning to like the 50-minute mark. I have it all on my Twitter if you
Yes.
guys want
You
to
have
check
it
it
on
out.
Twitter? Yes, check it
I
out.
have
Yeah.
all the timestamps of like the sequence and everything, and it worked out pretty well because then, well, we're not going to go into spoilers, but
Oh,
it
yeah, yeah.
definitely it
Yeah, no
definitely ends
spoilers
on a
yet. Yeah.
happier note because I put Revenge of the Sith at the end for a little bit more hope, because the way
Yeah.
this season ended was pretty pessimistic and kind of dark the way this ends. So it doesn't leave a great uplifting feeling, after you're getting done with Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to try it like you did too. Like what you did. I kind of did it, kind of just for my kids, because I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Hey, look at this." So I had Disney Plus and I had Revenge of the Shit,
Yeah.
and at the same time, and you hear the voice saying, "I'm on. Remember this?" And I show them, "Look at this in the movie."
Oh.
You know what I mean? So we kind of
Huh.
did it. We kind of just jumped around. We didn't really watch
Yeah.
the whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh wow, it connects. Kind of in their little way. They're like, "Oh, it's part of the movie." I go, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Basically in Revenge of the Kid, she didn't know it. We didn't need
She's
it. Right?
basically in it, but like the scene ended.
Yeah, so we were able to kind of show them,
Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can give them the spoilers. I mean, spoiler alert. I can give you everybody a spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it. Well, I do want to dive into spoilers, but definitely if you guys haven't seen it, please, come back, watch it. We're gonna be talking about spoilers. I definitely, we both want to talk, about the whole entire the season 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just start off with the Bad Batch. So was I think that was good. I did like the Bad Batch. I'm not sure how much more they're going to connect later. I don't know if we'll ever see him again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
That
think?
I was. And
Like
I'm gonna
that
jump. I know we're talking about Bad Batch, but I just want to jump quickly to
Yes.
like
Go ahead.
something that I expected and kind of got my hopes up for, was to maybe see the Bad Batch show up at the end of the very last episode, or maybe show the Martez sisters at the end. Because what I
Yes.
really enjoyed with Star Wars Rebels, the way that
Yes.
series ended, was they had this awesome epilogue where they had all
Yep.
these characters and where they are 3-4 years later. I was really hoping for something like that, just a quick glance
Yeah.
around the galaxy of these characters that were really important in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And when we didn't get that, that's what kind of disappointed me a little bit with the finale. Granted, it was like we kind of know where these characters end up anyway, because with Star Wars Rebels, a lot of them actually are in that series.
Yes.
But it would have been even stronger of an ending if we were able to even connect these other arcs, like the Bad Batch arc. Yeah, I mean, do you feel like the same way?
I do. Yeah. I mean, we'll get into it more when we get to the end. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But no, I felt the same way. Like the final finale one. I mean, the first two before that they were epic, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm ready for
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But then I was like, you give me an hour and a half and all that. But no, it was just a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, I
And
know.
it
I was
short
like, I
and sweet.
see that. I was like, 24 minutes. This is the shortest one yet. And
Yeah,
it's the last episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that way. I thought I was gonna be watching the Rebels, like, that long.
Yeah. But
it didn't
yeah,
work out that
going
way.
back to the Bad Batch show, my thoughts on that were, I was so happy they started off with Bad Batch as the first arc for the final season, because it's what Clone Wars is so good at. Like, my favorite Clone Wars episodes are the ones that involve nothing but the clone troopers. Like,
Yeah, they
it's
were
the
good.
Clone Wars. It's all about these soldiers that when you watch Revenge of the Sith, none of them really have a personality except maybe the clone
Cody, Rex.
commander that's
Yeah,
talking to Obi-Wan,
yeah.
right? Commander Cody.
Commander Cody. Yep.
But that's what the Clone Wars did so well, is it shows these individual characters that have a brotherly bond between one
Yes.
another.
Yes.
And my favorite arcs have been, well, it's not an arc, but the episode Rookies, or the landing at Point Rain at Geonosis mission. And then you also have the Umbar arc, which is probably well, it's not my favorite anymore, but it used to be my favorite arc. Now it's
Yeah.
Siege of
Yeah.
Mandalore.
Yeah.
But like, those were just such awesome stories that really like dive into like kind of like a World War II kind of vibe, with like
Yeah.
the brother in arms kind of stories. And I feel like Bad Batch just took that a step further, and it shows not just clones but mutated clones, like
Yeah.
genetically modified clones. So these guys are basically like superheroes, like, and they're all fine-tuned with their abilities and ways of tackling missions. And it's just like,
Yeah.
because I'm so huge into the military aspect of Star Wars. Like, you talk to any fan and they're like, oh, I like the space battles, or I like the elements of the Force, or I like the elements of the Jedi, or whatever, the Sith, whatever.
Yeah.
I always really liked the soldiers and the aspect of like the machines of war and the walkers and all that kind of thing. And especially now, I play this Star Wars Legion miniature game, and I'm always painting clone troopers that I'm like, oh man, this is an arc just for me. And it shows like this is a great arc to open up with, not just because it's the clones, but because it's really good action.
Yes.
There's a lot of storytelling that got added that wasn't even in the first initial run of this arc, because it originally was just to be animatic form on Disney or on StarWars.com. They had this for fans to watch. They knew that Clone Wars wasn't going to end, or the way it should, so they put the animatics out there for the fans. They were fully voiced and they're very rough, but you could at least get what the story was.
Oh yeah.
So they like, this story arc did so much for the character of Captain Rex, because it's like all about him letting go about his past with Echo and Domino Squad.
Yes.
And it just so shows you how good the storytelling is with developing characters. And the reason why we love these characters is just so much has gone into their creation. And Filoni and everybody else involved on the Clone Wars really takes great care of these characters. And some other things I really enjoyed about the arc were the stuff about Anakin. Like, even Anakin had a lot of stuff in this arc, even going as far as to have an additional scene with Padme, and them just talking about the war and everything else that is going on. And that was really cool when Obi-Wan was all like, hey, make sure you tell Padme I said hello. All this like really cool details that just like really tie it in so well to Revenge of the Sith. I mean, yeah, so just everything with the tension. And man, that first episode or two, you could really tell the detail that they got increased from the previous season. I'm not talking about just the detail of like the textures on the models, but I'm talking about the cinematic quality and the fact that they were able to pull off stuff they would see in the movies. Cinematic views, like you could tell that Dave Filoni really learned a lot from The Mandalorian as far as like live action filmmaking, because like just some of the stuff, like the first episode, I forget the name, but you got the clones like busting into this bunker, and there's like this long hallway shot of it, just like a sweeping camera. Like,
like a one shot.
I didn't see that in Clone Wars before. And it was like this moment where it was like, oh, this is so badass. Like, they're going in and it's like this strike team. And every character there has their own little quirks. You got Tech, who's, I think I'd still like him the best.
I think I like him.
You got Tech, you got Hunter, and I love how Hunter uses like the vibro knives and stuff like that. And of course you got Wrecker, who is just like the Hulk, basically. And then you have Deadeye, who's just like this quiet but skilled sniper, and they all work together. And then you see the differences between the Bad Batch and the regular clones that they call the Regs, and it's like this weird kind of like rivalry within the clones, which we had never seen before. So yeah, there were so many nuances in this arc that was just so surprising, because on paper it's like, oh, this is like a very straightforward arc. You got these clones that have to do a rescue mission, but along the lines there, you got so much more going on intellectually
Oh
with
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, and aren't they like the ride from that one episode in Clone Wars? Like, remember that old guy? I don't know, the old guy. Remember that in the Clone Wars series, there was like
Oh,
a faction
99.
99. Yeah, I think he
Yeah, a
was mentioned.
tragic moment of
Yeah,
99.
I think he was mentioned in there, or they had some kind of flag of him or something. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was
no,
that.
basically 99 is like the inspiration for what they called themselves as Task Force 99.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then what's interesting is in the canon, in the comics for the volume 1 of Star Wars, there is this group of really skilled stormtroopers called Scar Squadron, and
Okay.
they're Bad Batch is called Clone Force 99, and then
Okay.
you have Scar Squad, who actually calls himself Task Force 99, and it's in reference
Okay.
to Clone Force 99.
Okay. I gotcha.
So
Okay. So they kind
there's
of.
like all these
Yeah.
references to like, oh, this was based off of this, and it's in respect to them. So these guys, but yeah, what do you think about this arc?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree even more. I mean, but I definitely like the sprinkling of the Jedi in there. Yeah, I'm a little bit both, but I do like Jedi. But yeah, being in the military and all that, that's just the way it goes. Of everybody did it. They have that brotherly love, and yep, yeah, I like that. I was skeptic. I was like, okay, you think a Dirty Dozen crew, but no, it grew
Yeah.
on me right away. Like the second episode and third, I wanted more and see how they interact with even the Jedi and everything, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, and Rex, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and at the end, who that dude? He went with they Echo. They saved Echo.
Echo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Echo.
the last one, right? Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah, and
He
I
went
thought
with
that
them.
was really powerful.
That was really good. I mean,
The ending with like Rex just letting him go, and that's,
wow,
I would have loved to
that was
see some more
crazy, man.
conclusion with Echo at the
Echo,
end of this
yeah.
whole series. Like, we don't know where Echo goes, or like, we don't even know if Clone Force 99 even has those chips
I
to
wonder,
do the Order
yeah.
66. Like, that's a whole nother thing I want to know about.
Hmm. What? Yeah, yeah. We can only speculate. 'Cause I think Ahsoka said that those chips were planted in them when they were
Yeah.
little. So
Yeah, and then even
maybe
looking
everybody got
at
it no matter what, as a
And
little
even
child.
looking at Echo, right?
Hmm.
Like Echo was experimented and turned into like
Oh,
half droid cyborg.
dang,
Like,
man, that was
I wonder if the
crazy.
Separatists like found the chip and they were like, ah, just leave that in there, you know?
Yeah. Whoa,
Well, that's
that's
just in there,
crazy.
whatever.
Yeah, Echo. Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, I was happy with that arc. I mean,
And
like I said.
and a whole bunch of stuff with Separatists. You learn a
Oh
lot about the
yeah.
Techno Union and
Yeah, I like
about this whole weird gray area of where the Separatists can't attack the Republic because there's like some kind of treaty or something where
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we can't do this. The Republic can't attack us because we got this deal or something, because they're not
Yes.
technically the Separatists because of the trade union.
Yes.
So
Yeah. The trade.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that leader, that techno union leader,
yeah,
he was mentioning that he's like, oh man, and cause they were like, just go in there and get him. You don't understand. I can't do that right now. And then
yeah,
and they're finding out about Echo, so he got kind of mad and he was like, sketching out like, no, we can't actually do that. I'm gonna lose my. I don't know what he said. Something like lose my trade or something.
oh
Yeah, we
yeah.
can't just go in there and just. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Oh, another guy. What's that dude named? The Admiral, the Spider guy. That,
Oh, Admiral
that
Trench.
Anakin, Anakin killed.
Oh
Yeah, he
man, I was
murdered him.
so happy to
I
see
was
that
like,
guy die, honestly.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know there's a lot of Separatist fans out there,
Oh, really? Yeah.
but I was like
And
practically cheering when I seen that guy finally die,
yeah, I didn't really care
because
for him that much.
he has like 9 lives. He died, like we thought he died before like once or
Oh
twice,
yeah, yeah. I
and
was
he's,
wondering about that. I was like, is he a new guy or the same guy? But it was.
yeah.
And well, Anakin took care of him.
But I love that moment when Anakin just channels the dark side, like,
Yeah,
I don't have such weaknesses, and he just kills
I
him. Like,
know.
he's like, the
Yeah,
Jedi won't do this.
yeah.
I don't have such weaknesses, and and the guy tries to stab him, actually stabs him,
He did it.
and
Yeah,
then just he goes and retaliates and just gets him. Like, that was crazy.
yeah, yeah.
That was so cool to see that turn in Anakin. Like, we know we're so close to
Yeah.
him turning to the dark side. So he's had those moments of uncontrollable rage throughout the series, you know,
Yes.
and torturing, getting information out of people with the Force and whatnot. So to actually see him one more time really just tune into that, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, I definitely the Jedi were sprinkled in there, and yeah, and we'll see more of Anakin. But yeah, yeah, I was happy with that art. Then
Hmm.
then we'll move on to the second art with Ahsoka coming in
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the Martez, the Martez sisters.
Martez sisters, yep.
Yeah,
Trace and Rafa, yep.
yeah. So they basically started off from where or they had a little epilogue, prologue where Anakin tells Ahsoka don't leave, right? The Jedi Order and all that. And when we saw all that, and she left, and I guess she picked right up. I don't know where she got that bike, and then yeah, she went into the
Yeah,
underworld. Yeah,
yeah.
that was cool.
That's 1313
13.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was so
yep.
happy to
So
see that. Yeah,
that was really cool. Like we've gone there before in the Clone Wars, but it's
yeah, a
always
little bit,
nice
right?
seeing it again.
Yeah,
Because I love anything with the scum and villainy of Star Wars, going back to
yeah,
A New Hope, just the bar, the Maz Eisley Cantina, seeing
yeah,
all those aliens. I've always liked, and that's why I like solo Star Wars stories so much, and I
yeah.
really
I
love
did
all the
too.
references in that arc with all the solo stuff going on with Crimson Dawn and all.
I said,
But
yeah,
the stuff with the criminals, how they're working underneath the thumb of the governments that sometimes allow them to exist just for the fact of balance, and how that all works with these crime syndicates, and how, especially with this arc, what I really enjoyed about it and is just the fact that we get to see the citizens' point of view
yes, I was gonna
about
say
what
that.
they think of the Jedi,
Jedi, yep,
what their experience is with them, because especially these
yeah,
two characters we find out actually have a history with the Jedi. Specifically, seems like Luminaria and
uh,
Dooley like didn't really help him out.
yes,
It was like,
yeah,
yeah, the Force will be with you, and believe in the Force, and just walked away. Like, didn't even
that was
give him like any kind of like money or
money or
any
anything,
kind
or
of
yeah, or
support. Just like,
support,
I'm
or
out of
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah, and like when you see Ahsoka's wheels start to turn a little bit, because
Oh
she was like,
yeah,
no, the Jedi are good. They didn't start this war, and they're like, well, I don't know,
yeah.
not the way we see it, and so her wheels start turning, and she's like, you know,
That's
confirming
that's
more of
the
her doubts
thing.
of the Jedi Order.
That arc, if that arc doesn't exist, then the impact of the finale wouldn't be as strong, because
Yes,
we see multiple points. See if it makes reference, like, oh, I've dealt with people before, and I'm not going to join the Jedi. It's just a couple times came up in conversations with the Holoclaw, with Obi-Wan Kenobi,
yes,
and other reactions with her and Obi-Wan speaking about what's going to go on with Mandalore.
yes,
All that stuff plays an effect because of she had experience dealing with the dogmatic ways of the Jedi and having been cast out of the order and then brought back and then choosing not to join them. I think also this arc really shows her ways of survivability in the
yes,
forthcoming Order 66, and it gives her like already like that kind of training to be like on the run, not having the support of the Republic or the Jedi,
yes,
having to be a loner, having to trust in the Force and not use it as much, because we find out from other sources in Star Wars media like the Inquisitors are going to be a thing, so you got to be playing it low. You can't be using the Force all over the place, and it doesn't, and she's not using her lightsabers either.
yeah, yeah,
So
no
there's a lot
lightsaber.
of training that she didn't even realize that she needed so much back then, because it's going to be a huge part of her life going forward from when this all ends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Basically, it's like she stumbled upon the lower levels, and then they get into with the pikes, and they even
Yeah,
go to Corellia, and she kind of has to be undercover pretty much. It was like
yeah,
because they're asking her like, how do you know about the pikes?
uh-huh,
Why are you in this big? And she's trying to
yeah,
not. Because she's been in all that, but she's trying to warn them, but not really tell them, like, "Hey, I was a Jedi," and she's not gonna say all that. And yeah, it was interesting to see that, and they got
yeah.
captured and all that.
Yeah, and I did enjoy the amount of like I was saying, the tie-ins to Solo. We see
Yes,
Kessel,
Casual, yeah,
and
Casual,
and the whole spice running scheme that
yeah,
was something straight out of
Spike,
like A New Hope, with like
yeah,
Han Solo. Oh, I'm dropping the spice, the first sign of Imperials, and getting the hell
yeah,
out of there. So
yeah,
I mean, I will say, like, I didn't like this arc as much as the other ones, honestly.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was like the one episode, it was the third one in that series of episodes that I felt like it almost could have been just omitted and not even in there, and you would have still gotten the same story because it was they start in a cell and then they end in a cell
in the
for
back.
that
Yeah,
episode. And it was just a lot of running around, and then Bo-Katan finds him. That was like the only
yeah. And then
thing that was
finally,
really substantial in my opinion.
yeah, finally, yeah. No, I
So
agree. I mean, it had its place, but yeah, it was like
yeah,
they're running in circles. Yeah, kind of.
yeah, I don't know. That really bothers me in any kind of like entertainment, TV or movies or otherwise. Like you start the episode and you end there, and it's like, what was the point of everything in between? You're still ending up at the same point that you started at.
Yeah, yeah. And like you were saying earlier, we don't even see the Martinez sisters at all.
I
You know,
know.
she's like, that's it. She's not gonna get her bike. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, the
you never know.
bike.
There might be, later episodes in something
Yeah,
else.
because like,
Maybe, but
and they kept like she kept saying, "Oh, I have a very fast ship." Like, oh,
oh,
I figured that they were gonna land on Coruscant, and she would have had to sneak off the Star Destroyer, and then go to them because she knew that they had a very fast ship, and then they would all leave together, and that's where the story would go.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I mean, I will say this, like, it is nice not to have your exact expectations met
That's true.
because then it's
Yeah,
like, oh well, there's no real surprise in that or anything. But I mean, the Martez sisters were all right. Like, I really got annoyed by Trace. I
Trace.
feel like she
The
was
older one? Is she the
no,
older
the
one or the
younger,
younger one?
the one that's
Yeah,
super naive.
super naive. Yeah, yeah.
Like I was getting annoyed because it was like, oh, I'm gonna just release all the spice. I'm like, what are
Oh
you
yeah,
doing?
yeah,
And then, like, I get it. Like, they're trying to show a character that is very new to the whole galaxy and doesn't have much experience at all with anything
yeah,
because she can't even fly a ship without saying, "Oh, it's the first time doing it." It's like, what?
yeah.
Like, get out of the lane. And I do like the moment. Again, there was a moment with Anakin and
Hmm.
Ahsoka. He felt her through the Force,
Yeah,
so
that
that's
was
pretty
cool.
neat. And one quick note is this actual arc takes place before Bad Batch, apparently, because Anakin is still on Coruscant,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
you're right. Huh.
siege of the Outer Rim or Outer Rim sieges were like several months long, I think. So
Okay.
yeah, there was
Yeah, I didn't
kind
think
of
of
like a
that.
little thing, and she goes, "I what I do like that might have taken away from this arc, but it was cool at the same time." Was it was really, I believe, the first arc in Star Wars, The Clone Wars, where it actually had a connection. The end of this arc almost kind of
Yes.
led into another arc.
Yes.
I
Okay.
think it might have been to the expense of this specific story because they kind of had to get the Mandalorians to get Ahsoka out of there at the end of that last episode. I
Yeah.
feel like there could have been a little bit more, and I'll say this again about the Siege of Mandalore. This arc, the Ahsoka walk battle arc, could have had a little bit more conclusion, a little bit more finality to like where those characters are going to end up and like what lessons did they really learn from Ahsoka. I mean, we do have a nice coming around of the character of Rafa where she was like,
Yeah.
you're not a Jedi,
Yeah.
but
Jedi.
you're what I would expect one to be. At least you behave in a way that is more Jedi than the Jedi of the Jedi Council right now
Yes.
because they're just doing their own thing and fighting a war, not really being what Jedi are supposed to be. The keepers of peace. They're just fighting wars because
Kind
they
of.
like power
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
So
Yeah. 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 Once Maul showed up, and that was like, okay, we're back. It was like, okay, and then Bo-Katan showed up at the end, and then it's kind
yeah,
of weird. She just like left the sisters. The sisters are like, okay, you gotta go help her. And that's it.
yeah, no, no. It literally took her 5 minutes. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, you got 5 minutes, and it took her 2 seconds. She's like, oh, I'm
That's
gonna
what.
just go.
And they're just like, okay, bye.
And it's like, well, here's the thing. It's like last time she seen this person, she was trying to freaking kill her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like it takes you 30 seconds to realize I'm gonna just go with all these people that tried to kill me, and I'll be fine. See ya.
Yeah. 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 But I mean, I guess if we wanted to dissect it, which we did, that arc did have something going for it. Like I said at the end, it had to tie in with Maul and get like back to the
Yeah.
siege. And so, you know, well, that it was what it was. There might be more later of and maybe they'll come out in the comic book. The
Yeah,
Marquez.
that's the thing is they'll probably have all these things, Star Wars will go on forever. So eventually we'll get some kind of comic or another novel
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we already have the Ahsoka novel, which tells us a pretty good deal about Ahsoka, like a year afterwards, a year after all these events or something like that. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think
And
it's.
that novel did get retconned slightly
I heard
because
about. Yeah, I
there
heard
was
about
like a duel with Maul and everything as you've seen, but then like it ends a little bit differently than what happens, which is to be expected because when they wrote the book, they didn't know that the Clone Wars was coming back,
that.
so
Yeah.
they were kind of giving an ending, not thinking that somebody else would ever do it again. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it happened. I guess. Yeah.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. I'd rather take this ending than the
Yeah.
other one
Yeah. No,
anyway.
you know what I mean. I'm
So
happy because we got Clone Wars, finally.
yeah,
And so yeah, so the last arc, right? Is
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Then we just yeah, no, yeah, we just get right back into it. I mean, well, you know, we meet up with Obi-Wan, right? Anakin. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
he meets up. Yeah. Oh, or Anakin was fighting, or Obi-Wan was fighting. A battle. He was losing, and Anakin said, "Hey, you need some help." Doing all that and standing up and doing that fake out that they did. That I think Obi-Wan did in the Clone Wars the movie where he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
no, Anakin did the same thing."
yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was
it's like
so
full
cool
circle.
because I just rewatched the Clone Wars movie
Did
and
you watch it? Okay.
it wasn't as bad as I remembered it to be. Probably because of all this other stuff with the Clone Wars I've watched. I care about the characters more. But yeah, you're right. Like that battle, it
Hmm.
was on Urbana, and I do love the fact. Before we even get into that,
Okay.
just the whole the little news report that goes and plays, the little news report with the
Oh,
Hugh Lawrence
yeah,
like voiceover thing.
yeah,
That was really cool because it's like,
yeah,
the Jedi are stretched thin across the galaxy, and then
yes,
they show all the glimpses of characters like
yeah,
Grievous
yeah,
and the Twi'lek on Felucia, Ala
yep,
Secura. Then you have Plo
sure,
Koon flying his starfighter.
yes.
You got all these really cool character cameos. You even see little Caleb Doom and
Yeah,
Depa
Kaden.
Billaba there at the council.
That
So
was cool. Yeah.
that was nice. And actually, going before that, I got the chills. The very first episode, it hit me pretty hard with the whole like old school Lucasfilm title card.
Yeah. That
I
okay.
was
That's
like,
what
holy crap! Like this is amazing. And from that moment, I knew that we were in for something special because they
yeah,
don't ever do that for just any normal episode. And
yeah,
then they played the actual main theme
yes,
with the Clone Wars in
yeah,
red,
yes,
and
yeah,
it was like, what is going on? This is so crazy.
yeah.
This is like a movie, and that
It
it
is.
really deserves to look like and be in the movie theaters because man, they hit that out of the park with these 4 episodes
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
going
Yeah.
down swinging. But like the Urbana, yeah, I went back and watched Clone Wars movie, and there are definite callbacks. Like Obi-Wan
Okay.
is doing this like wasting time meeting where he's
Yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
this guy. I think his name is like Commander Lonesome or something like that.
Lonesome. Yeah.
Loathsome.
Yeah.
And he's just having coffee
Have
or
coffee.
tea with the alien, waiting
Yeah.
for the ships to get there in time.
Yeah.
And Anakin kind of did the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because it actually shows you like how much he learned from Obi-Wan. It shows you
Yes.
how much Anakin has matured over those 3 years, which in a giant war like that probably feels more like 20 years by the time the thing is over with everything, the
Yeah.
stress and all.
Yeah.
But to see all of that happen and to see the actual moment when the reveal is that R2 is underneath of that bridge
Oh
and you got
yeah.
all the clones.
Yeah. That was awesome.
And then what really got me going was the whole sail barge theme from Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi.
Yes.
Like the dun, 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 and
Yeah. That was
the
in there. Yeah.
lightsaber comes out and all the clones. And it was like a
Man.
moment like that is like the moments that I would be cheering in the theater, like
Yeah.
clapping my hands
Yeah.
like
Me
a
too.
madman.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
it's like peak Star Wars. Like those kind of feelings, the swashbuckling, like
Yes.
action sequences like that, where everything is like so epic, and
Yes. Yes.
it's just this like intangible feeling that I look for from my Star Wars.
Hmm.
Like those feelings where you're just totally engrossed in what is going on, and you're just so focused on.
Oh yeah.
We know, and the crazy thing is with the Clone Wars, like we know where all these characters end up. We know that there's not really any tension that can really rocket that high because we know these characters are going to live, but still you get that feeling anyway somehow.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, yeah, when the music kicked in, everything, it was just like, yeah, it was totally different from night and day.
Yeah,
Especially,
it looked
yeah,
totally different.
I was like, whoa, we're in for a treat. Yeah, 4 more episodes left. Uh,
Yeah.
I think I said in my review, like, so when I clicked on it, I saw that Lucas Limited. I thought it was the wrong video. I literally did. I'm like, oh, sorry. And I went again. I did 3 times, and I'm like, oh, okay. But it's cool. I'm glad they did that. But I was tripping out. I'm like, what is going on?
Did somebody upload the wrong video to Disney Plus?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or did they do it themselves? Or yeah. I mean, yeah. Then we jump right into it, and then they get a call from Fulcrum, which he kills him.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah.
every time I hear Saw Gerrera's name mentioned, I
Oh,
just like kind of
yeah.
like
They
peak
thought it was
up my
Guerrero.
attention a little bit more
Yeah,
because that guy's everywhere.
yeah. They thought it was him, but it wasn't.
Yeah, apparently like the people were taking back like the separatists were taking back Onderon, so that's not good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, it was Ahsoka and Bo-Katan, and
Hmm.
yeah, they went there to ask for help. But Obi-Wan is
Yeah.
that good, the good Boy Scout Obi-Wan had been ever since episode 1. You know, we gotta talk to the council. We have to talk to the council. You know, and he's never gonna stop that. You know, even when
Yeah,
he
he's
called
not
him
gonna
out.
stop that.
Yeah,
No, that's like the Obi-Wan has always been like that, the good child, you know what I
yep,
mean? Like he'll always follow the strict rules that are in place that has to be done. And yeah, that's the thing is like I like how Ahsoka actually stands up to him.
yeah.
Because she's got all this experience. Like, look, we got to do this, and he's like, no, whatever. Like, it was kind of tense because it's like, damn, are they
Like,
about to just fight each other? Because
that's what I
they're
mean.
about seriously. And
Yeah.
then Bo-Katan isn't taking crap. She throws
Oh no.
out there with Satine about his old love
Oh
interest.
yeah.
Like, oh
I was
man,
like,
that hurt.
ooh, yeah, yeah. She went right there to do it. Yeah. But I mean, Obi-Wan. I guess they were saying there was also kind of a lesson that Anakin to
Yeah,
hear about that. But
yeah.
keep your
But it was
emotions in
like,
check.
oh man, that moment with Ahsoka when Anakin sees her,
Oh
especially
yeah,
with the hologram, like, oh man, I felt like for him so much in that moment because like he's at a loss for words. Like he
yes,
is totally like, how are you? Are you safe? Like all this
yeah,
stuff. Like,
yeah. He was like fanboying out. He was like,
yeah. And then when she actually sees him in person, she's like all strict business. Like
yeah, yeah.
he did not expect that to happen. Like he was hoping for like a hug and them
Oh
to
and
just like
yeah,
start
go back to
reminiscing about
yeah,
the
good
old
old days.
times. Like, but she's come a long way since he last left her or she left him, and it shows like how much she's been through and that this is so important to her that it needs to be done.
Yeah, yeah. And then he gave her the lightsaber, which he modified, made
Oh,
and
that
made it
was
blue. That was kind of well. We'll find out later why he did that. Well, kind of, but yeah. So he gave back the lightsaber, and then we saw in the trailers and all that stuff. But it's a spoiler now. But yeah, it showed him that Rex has got a little army for her. You know,
oh, that was so cool.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I've already been spoiled with that part like 3 or 4
yeah.
times now
I know, yeah, yeah.
because like when I was like I
Like,
first heard of it
uh huh.
from Celebration
Yep.
Orlando. I think they were talking
Yeah.
about on that panel. They're like Filoni was just like, oh, if we ever had finished it, it would be like
Yes,
this.
that was
Like
the one I
you
was
kind of
talking
already
about.
knew about it, but like believe me, if I didn't know anything about that ahead of time, I probably would have cried watching that. I
I
would have been
know.
like,
That's true though.
this
I
is
mean,
too much, man. They all wear like
wow.
this face and helmets. Like I can't take it anymore. Like they're all saluting her as she's
Yeah.
walking through the hallway. Why are they acknowledging me? Because they believe in loyalty,
Yes.
and loyalty is everything to the clones. And it's like this kind of like double-handed like thing where it's like in like a couple days they're gonna be trying to kill her.
I know.
So
Yeah,
much
yeah.
for
Well, yeah, we'll get
loyalty when
there.
their
Yeah.
minds are programmed to do a certain thing. So
And then it ties in with still with running to the ship because Obi-Wan gets an alert. He runs in. He says, "Hey, the Chancellor's in trouble. We need to go get the Chancellor." I
yeah,
think that's right, right? On Grievous's ship. And so he
yep,
has to bail
yep,
out. And then
yep,
Anakin has to bail out too. And Anakin pleads for her, say, "Hey, give her the army at least, clone
yeah,
her or whatever, something like that." And then Obi-Wan was still not having it. Like, no, we ain't got time for this.
yeah,
And she's like, "What? You just gonna leave Bo-Katan?" And he's like, "Well, ain't my problem." And she's like, "You just care about the Chancellor." And, he's
yeah.
like, "Dang." But Anakin kind of smoothed things out. Said, all right. Just calm down. Let's do this for her. And then there we go. And then we get into it. We go through the siege of Mandalore, right?
Oh yeah. That was quite the sequence. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I
That
watched it
moment
like
where
10
she's
times.
the gunships and the the Mandalorians about there, and and again, I'll keep going back to this. Like, if we didn't get that arc with Ahsoka with no lightsabers, like, this would not be as satisfying, because you see
Yeah.
her with that arc where she's just using the Force, and she gets the crap kicked out of her with those a couple of those episodes going against the Pikes, beating her up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then you see her with the new lightsabers, and she is totally kicking butt, man. Like, she's just kicking them out the window and slicing her guns in
Yeah.
half and just
That was
catching
good.
on their jetpacks and
Yeah.
flying up, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
just like, it
I
is
watched that like 20
so
times.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. You know. Sorry,
It is so
yeah.
satisfying to
Yeah.
see her to be
That was
that
crazy. That was
powerful.
good. That was a good sequence. I watched it
Yeah.
like 10 times. Sorry, Commander, I'm gonna give you a jetpack. Don't worry, I don't need it. And wow, she was
Yeah.
flying. She was flowing. She double kicking. Yeah, I watched it like 10 times. I can keep watching it over. I was like, yeah, that was a good
Yep.
sequence. I didn't know they could do that, or he was gonna do that. But
Hmm.
because and all the animation, it looked so real. Yeah, and to get there, and then did they capture that? No, they did the one with the Maul, right? Like, well, or actually Maul got at the very end though. I think they get to the sewers or something like that, right? And then what happened at the very end?
Yeah.
What happened at the end of this episode that we got? No,
At the end of the episode, she runs into Maul and he
he
says,
runs into okay.
"I was hoping for Kenobi.
Yeah,
Why
that's
are
right.
you here?"
Oh
And there's
yeah,
all the Mandalorians, and it's this crazy cliffhanger where it's like, "What the heck? Like,
yeah,
how's you gonna get out of this?"
yeah. Cause they did capture that prime minister, and that's when he was like, "You brought
Oh,
the wrong
Olmec,
Jedi."
yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got the wrong Jedi, which is a callback to the wrong Jedi episode 5,
Yeah.
whatever, of the season 5.
I'm trying to think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and then we head on to episode 8. Where are we at here? We're at or 7 or the next
9.
one 9. Yeah, 9. Yeah, I keep thinking of 10 episodes or episodes, but 9. So yeah, basically part 2 we leave off with Ahsoka being surrounded by Maul and his Mandalorian. And
Oh yeah.
what happened? I forgot. Did they come rescue her right away? Oh, they have a little dialogue. Maul talking about. Um, did she mention Sidious at that time? Yeah, he starts revealing the plan a little bit. I'm not sure. She's talking about, why are you here? Yeah, why are you here? I wanted
Oh
Obi-Wan.
yeah,
Or I wanted Anakin.
because he finds out that Dooku gets killed or something.
Yes.
And then he's like, oh, he has, like, it dawns on him that, like, oh, he was used too. Like, Dooku was a pawn.
Yeah.
It's all meant to be Skywalker as the ultimate apprentice of Darth Sidious.
That's right. Yeah. And then Rex comes and rescues her, and so then Maul bails out.
Yeah, Maul bails out.
He bails out, and then she's her wheels are turning about what Maul talks about Sidious and what name, because the Prime Minister.
Man, it's so good because it literally goes into so much lore and mythology with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, this is some deep stuff that we learn in this episode about Sidious, and these characters are experiencing Sidious, and it's stuff that's been building up and boiling up to a certain degree, and here we are it's a boiling point right now. Everything is coming to a head. And this episode, I think, might be one of the best. It is in my opinion, one of the best Clone Wars episodes, because there's so much going on in it. This one, out of all of them, felt the most like a movie.
Right. Yeah. Is this the one where they fight at the end?
Yep.
He does mention that the Prime Minister mentioned that Maul had a vision, before he dies, he's Skywalker. And we're like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Maul had the
and then
vision.
you have Gar Saxon assassinating him.
Yeah.
I like that connection to Rebels. That was really cool, because we know that Gar Saxon eventually gets joins the Empire.
Yeah. And then that fight scene was awesome too. With he asked Ahsoka to join him. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was peak Star Wars. Like, Star Wars is always at its best when these characters have to make a choice, right? Like, you have Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, join me and together we can rule as father and son. And then you have the Emperor later on telling him to join him and be at his side, all this stuff with people joining other people and always having these choices, and these characters are always never saying yes to these things, but in Ahsoka's case, she actually considers it.
I thought,
and if it wasn't for Anakin, she could have been teaming up with Darth Maul or Maul at this point.
Yeah, and they definitely had a good duel. I liked the duel. I mean, they went all over the place. Maul gets kicked out the window.
Yeah, I watched that duel about 10 times now at this point. It is one of the best Star Wars duels, I think. Because what makes Star Wars duels so darn interesting and unique is the context of what is happening, not with the fight, but with the characters and where their heads are.
Yeah.
And the emotion of the battle is what really makes it that much more intense. And you couple that with actual motion captured stunts from none other than Ray Park and somebody, I forget her name, who's representing Ahsoka. Oh man, seeing those guys behind the scenes actually fighting was nuts.
I didn't see that yet. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, they have a video on StarWars.com. It's just it's like a 5 or 6 minute video.
Okay, yeah.
You see Ray Park, man, the original stuntman for Darth Maul and the Phantom Menace is back.
Yeah.
And he is
Ray Park.
He is doing those flips and everything in real life, and they're tracking his movement, but then they have to overhype it to make it more like Clone Wars style animation,
Yeah.
So it works because I'm watching those sequences, and it's like, this is literally Ray Park doing these stunts. Like, that's this trademark stuff going on.
Wow.
And I'm a sucker for the non-traditional lightsaber configurations. So I love seeing people fight with double bladed lightsabers and dual lightsabers. So it was really cool seeing that kind of attack. You have one person going at it with both, and the other person's swinging. And at one point, Ahsoka loses her saber, then picks it up, and there's this really awesome moment. It seems so lifelike. Is when the camera kind of pans out, and Maul says something, and Ahsoka is retorting back you'll find I'm full of surprises or something like that. And she's spinning her saber in her hand. It was something so realistic that you could see somebody doing in real life. In the way that they're walking, pacing back, she's catching her breath as they're kind of walking back and forth, taking a second and then going back in again. That was so good. Those little details add so much to the actual believability in what is going on.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that night I was watching it with my family, and the kids are younger. They like Star Wars. And my wife, she's a casual. She likes it a little bit, but she actually got captivated by that fight scene. And she even told me, she goes, when they're going to do a live action of Ahsoka? I was like, well, funny you asked.
She asked that. Oh, wow.
I even got the non-Star Wars fan to be like, I kind of gauged that of her. Because, she can like it. But then, I'm like, oh, okay. It was that good that a non-Star Wars fan would actually watch it.
Wow.
It was so good. It was almost like a movie.
Yeah.
So that definitely impressed her and everybody. I'm pretty sure it impressed a lot of people. Then he gets captured, and they actually hold him with the force for a little bit. Then, then he gets tied up, right? And then
that's the episode.
What's up with that ship? There was a girl or something like that. Kira from Solo. I don't think so.
No. At that point, Kira would be way young.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I think it was Rook Cast.
Oh, Rook? The dude, the Gollum guy? No.
It's funny you should mention that, because I was thinking somebody's gonna get confused by this name, because
my bad. Yeah, okay.
No, it's she's got the same. It's the one henchman.
It's a girl though,
The girl that looks like she's got the short hair.
It's kind of like a girl.
She's got the purplish hair. Kind of looks like Sabine, kind of.
Oh, was she in Rebels?
No.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah,
I think it's her though, because you don't actually you see Gar Saxon that gets arrested, but you don't see her get arrested.
Oh yeah, she took off.
And I think Rook Cast got that ship.
Okay.
And I think Rook Cast is going to end up being the armor from The Mandalorian.
Oh wow. Oh.
because the way
Oh,
her voice is actually is a British accent,
yes.
and they never give you her name in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And Maul is having a speech in the lower levels there with the Mandalorians when they're gonna fight, and he's saying like we can't like be in underground and like basically all this stuff. And I'm thinking like, oh, maybe she took that literally and was like, she's gonna create that little
Yeah.
like thing, whatever they call
Okay.
it in
Oh,
Mandalorian.
her. Yeah, she was in the episode. Okay, I'm totally thinking. Yeah, no, I know her. The one that kind of looks like Sabine. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, the one that was in the episode. Okay, now I know who exactly you're talking. Okay, and so she took the ship. Yeah, God, she actually gets captured, but and then she flies over. Okay, and Mom was
yeah,
like, "Oh, you're on your own," you know.
yeah,
Okay, so she tried to save him, but then she just took off. Obviously,
yeah.
you know.
And at that point, she probably
Oh,
goes with
yeah.
her Mandos somewhere else. But yeah,
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then and this is the last, second to the last episode, right? Cause
yep.
this was a good one too. I mean, this was
Oh
like
yeah,
at peak. I mean, you got Ahsoka coming down, and then what, Bo-Katan's looking at her people, and she's like, man, what a battle, and she's like, oh, you got Maul, surprise, and yeah, and they put him in that little carbonite, weird looking thingy, force thing.
oh, it was so cool. I want to learn so much more about that. I'm all about the details of like little gadgets and stuff in
Yeah,
Star Wars.
that was actually
And
cool.
I especially love the history of like Jedi and Mandalorian and Sith
Yes,
stuff.
yes,
Like all that stuff is super interesting because we know from Rebels that there was a big war between the Jedi and the Mandalorians, and even in Legends books that happened. So
yeah,
it's really cool that we're getting like sprinkling of information, and the fact that Satine, Bo-Katan's sister, said these were all supposed to be destroyed,
destroyed. Yep,
and Bo-Katan was like, "Well, I got one
I got
left,"
one left.
and that is so cruel. Like, think about it. Like, you put somebody in there that's force sensitive, and they somehow can't use the force. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
it's something that the Emperor has now, essentially. Well, actually, no, he doesn't now because that ship got destroyed.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, oh, the Emperor's gonna end up getting that now and then use that, but now, well, maybe they can recover from that ship somehow. Maybe it's not
Yeah.
completely destroyed. But no, I like that idea. The whole episode had this very sense of unease. The entire episode, I knew it was gonna happen. Order
Yes.
66,
Yeah.
and the way that it happened just tore me apart, man. I couldn't
Yes.
take it. I knew it was happening, and it was overwhelming for me to experience that moment with Rex, because it's like this character that you care for so much, and to see him just struggling,
Oh man, that was
you see the guy just struggling so hard, and like the tear comes down his. I freaking lost it, man. I was
yeah.
like,
No, I don't
this is
blame you.
too much.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the episode when every time they mentioned, they were saying like, oh, Obi-Wan had contacted Grievous, and I was like, oh, things were running in my head.
Yeah.
This is happening right here,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and then you see, and you see the clip from Mace saying, I think the plot to destroy the Jedi. All this stuff.
yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. He kept saying it
Oh, this
over
is
and
there.
over.
Yeah.
Everything keeps tangling together and together and together. Yeah, I was there right with you. We know, if you piece it together, and you're like, oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And the way it happens, like you said, man, with Rex, man, yeah.
I mean, I had to watch it the second time because I wasn't really quite sure like what happened, because I was like so like crazy going nuts at that moment.
Yes.
But like about the part with Fives, like I didn't know how she knew about how to look up
Oh
Fives. I
yeah,
guess I didn't
he
hear him
did say
right,
it.
and it
He
was like,
mentioned it.
oh, he's find Fives.
Yeah.
If he never, and that's where it's like a really cool moment where it's like call back to season 5 or no season 6, where he had gone and tried to find that chip, that
Yes.
whole sequence with Fives finding the chip, and then Fives unfortunately dying, which is another terrible moment in
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like for those that think this is the kids show, like no way, man. There's moments in here that are just way too mature. People just dying left and right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to see that whole mission play out, where it's like, think about it, it's like the worst circumstance a Jedi could be in. They're on a ship trapped in hyperspace with nothing but thousands of people that want to kill you.
Yeah.
Thousands of people that want you dead more than anything else. That's their mission, is to kill you. And she's on a ship with all these people right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't blame her for getting the mall free. 'Cause I mean,
Yeah.
I was for it. Like, are you sure you want to do this? But
Yeah.
well, you
And it,
kind of had no
I,
choice.
I love the attitude she has, you know.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you're not teaming up with me.
Yeah.
I'm just using you as a distraction. Like you're just gonna be somebody that's gonna cause chaos because that's what you're good at, and that'll give me time
I
to get
know.
where I need to go."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's even like, "Oh, well, at least can I have a fighting chance?" And she's like,
She's like, no.
"No, go."
Yeah, because
And it's
she wanted
like,
a lightsaber probably.
but here's the thing: we find out later in the episode he doesn't even need a
No,
damn lightsaber. He can
no,
just very well do this himself without him.
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that was so cool. I really liked how they did like an homage to Rogue One.
yeah.
And now you have a mall hallway scene, and he's brutally killing these clones,
Oh no.
chopping their heads off with sheet metal and cutting them through the center, and
At
then
the hand.
chopping off arms.
Yeah.
Like it is grotesque. Like the amount of, well, they didn't show any blood, but still you can
You get the
imagine all
point.
that would
Yeah,
happen.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that is so dark. Like Maul just digging into the dark side, like this rage.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and then he, what did he do? He destroyed the hyperdrive thing. He like tore it
Yeah,
apart, and I've never seen
that
that
was
before.
that was like something straight out of the Force Unleashed.
Oh really?
Like
Okay,
him
yeah.
just, well, it didn't happen in the game,
Didn't
but it
happen.
feels like it would be something that
Give me
the
that.
character Starkiller might do, where it's just like all this force power to like, and that was more believable than taking a Star Destroyer out of the sky. That was too much, but
Yeah,
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 nonetheless, you get that feeling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, he did literally take a Star Destroyer out of the sky, but he just simply destroyed the hyper generator, which
Something,
did
yeah,
all that. So
yeah, yeah. They and then he escaped, but before then, Rex and Ahsoka, they have their little battle, not little, with the clone trooper
oh yeah,
with Jesse, and they're trying to convince. He's trying to convince them that Ahsoka that hey, she's not Jedi, don't worry about it.
I like that moment. I
Yeah,
really like that moment because it's all about Rex like making one final plea to his comrades.
yeah,
You know, that's like his last try to like acknowledge of like, all right, they're just dead set on this order. Like they're not gonna budge. Like that's what they are programmed to do, and we're gonna have to deal with these guys somehow.
yeah, yeah,
They try to do it peacefully, and that's not gonna happen.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that was really good. That was really really good.
Mm.
Hold on, let me pause the. All right, so we're back here, and yeah, I mean we go on and on, but I guess we don't want to spoil everything for everybody, just in case. But yeah, we both definitely love the season, but yeah, let's just quickly talk about the very very end, the money shot of
Yeah.
Vader. It was yeah Vader. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either, but I feel like
Totally
all
honest.
big Star Wars projects somehow end up with Vader at the end. Like, of course, like
Really?
Rogue One, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And Revenge of the Sith, of course.
yes,
So Vader is that
yeah, that's
connection.
true. Wow,
But
yeah,
yeah, I think what this was needed because it shows us what becomes of the Republic. The Republic turns into the
the
Empire.
Empire, yes,
And it shows, and that's the thing, I think it's going to be open to interpretation what really happens in that last scene. Like when Vader picks up her lightsaber, is it a message to him saying like she's still around? Because here's the thing, she had two lightsabers, and I specifically watched this
yes,
sequence over again.
yeah.
Where's the other lightsaber? I guess she
Yeah.
has it on her still.
Yes. I tried to look for it too. Yeah.
Because in Ahsoka, the book, she got rid of both lightsabers and made her own white sabers that you see in
Okay.
Rebels.
The Rebels. Okay.
So like, and there's the head, there's the clone helmets left there. So it's almost like, oh yeah, she died. But then again, it could also mean that a reminder of Vader, like, oh, she's still around, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed this out on Facebook, like looking at the deterioration of the Star Destroyer versus how it looks when it first crashes. There's a lot of deterioration. So this wasn't something that happened like a year later. Like this was probably
Yeah.
like 10 years later or
Okay.
something like that.
That's what I thought. That's what. Yeah. I guess we'll find out later. But I don't know the timeline. But that's what I'm figuring.
Yeah. But I think it was great to like the way it leaves off with like the clone helmet and Vader
Yeah,
walking away. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that was really symbolic of, the Republic has come to an end and
yes,
the Clone Wars is over.
yes,
Like
yes,
it's a definitive, like the Clone Wars is over and we are now into a new era of Star Wars storytelling and we're in the Empire at this point.
yeah, yeah. And real quick, I mean, I can only imagine what's going in Anakin's head. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this was my Padawan I had. There's her lightsaber. There's her army I gave her. She's dead. Well, he thinks she's dead, and he's just sitting there. I don't know I just see his eye too. And, yeah, I can only imagine what he's going through. What he's thinking right now.
Wait, you can see his
Maybe
eye?
nothing. Yeah, yeah. You didn't know that? You can see his eye like through the glass of the thing.
No, I gotta watch it
Go
now.
watch it again. Then. Yeah. Spoilers.
I didn't catch that. All right.
Yes, you will. Yeah, they did that perfectly. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
To mirror the Empire, not Empire, Star Wars, the first Star Wars, where the first. You can kind of see the actor's eye in the very first Star Wars movie. The very
You can?
1977. Yeah, and in mirror that you can. Yeah, you see
What?
it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you barely see it. Like he's wearing shades.
Oh wow,
Right.
that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Huh.
yeah, that's how they left it. And we're definitely. We can go on and on, but yeah, I definitely what to say. I was satisfied, and it sounds like you were too.
Yeah, I was satisfied. I liked the ending. Didn't love it. The action was awesome, but I think there might have been a little bit too much. Like if they could have just maybe cut out 5 minutes of action and put in a little bit more of an epilogue, I thought it would have been perfect. But we got plenty of other stories with these characters, so it's not like they're dead or so. You know what I mean? So it's like we're gonna find out where they go anyway. But it would have been nice to have a little bit more closure, like I was saying at the beginning of this, like with the other character arcs, with the Bad Batch, which we spent so much time with, and with the Martez sisters, and like maybe she gets a ride off the planet with them or something. But no, they have a Y-wing at this point, so
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for coming back, and it's always a pleasure to talk Star Wars with you. And
oh yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. It's always been fun.
We can go on.
Just rambling on about Star Wars, and the Clone Wars is monumental to Star Wars. I say anybody that really wants to dive further into Star Wars, you gotta start with the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Because the Clone Wars is the last thing, think about it, that George Lucas had creation with in Star Wars.
Exactly. Yep.
So there's so many awesome things in the Clone Wars that relate to mythology, like with the Force, with the Mortis trilogy, and with Yoda, with the stuff with speaking of Qui-Gon, like there are huge things in this series that people should not take lightly, and I feel like this is crucial. It's like mandatory. If you want to know more about Star Wars other than the movies, you got to watch Clone Wars. Yeah.
No, I agree. I can say it better myself. And with that note, everybody please go to Starrapter, his channel, subscribe. He's got a lot of good content. And definitely, hope to do it again. We'll do something else, Mandalorian or whatever. There's a lot of stuff coming up. And, keep up with our channels. And please like and subscribe, both our channels. And we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye.